Hey, everybody, welcome to the Military Transition 2.0 podcast. Me and Aaron here with PreVeteran. And guess what? Drum roll, very exciting new thing we'd like to bring to our PreVeteran audience. We are announcing we have a Skillbridge optimizer course that we are going to be starting to sell to corporate entities that have a Skillbridge program. What do you think, Aaron?
I think it's absolutely awesome. I'm super excited, but you may be asking the question, what the heck is Skillbridge and why does it need to be optimized? And so we hope you'll hang out and listen in for just a sec.
And let's get into it. So we talked about this last week, but the reason why we talked about it last week is we talked about two systems, right? Got the military ecosystem, the private sector. And you can see that between the two, there's a huge gap. And PreVeteran is all about making sure the service member and the corporation now are aware of this gap because it impacts 160,000 people per year that are leaving the military. And the understanding is we are not necessarily plug and play. Because of the two systems are so different, we're really not plug and play, and that's supported by the numbers. So we all know that 50% leave within 12 months, and then up to 65 to 70% leave within 2 years. To the corporations out there that are listening, that have a skill bridge and want to hire veteran talent, it becomes a big cost. So if you're HR, if you're DEI, if you're a program manager for Skillbridge, we think that this is a really important program for you to consider.
Absolutely. And we know for a fact that because veterans are talented, they're trained, and they make great employees, that with the right training and orientation, they can actually be the best candidate for the job and not just check a box for the organization, that they can actually fulfill that role better than anyone else.
That's exactly right. So what we're going to tell you about is this, right? So our solution to this, because Skillbridge has become such a big program out there in the space for veteran folks. We know that there's Skillbridge program managers that are out there within a variety of industries. We are offering a 3-module Skillbridge optimizer course that we recommend your Skillbridgers take before they're actually onboarded into the company. And again, going back to that conversation, a lot of people don't know, particularly folks within the corporate industry, that should the individual come out of the military and not be trained appropriately, they will carry those gaps and misalignments we talked about into your DoD skill bridge and then or into your direct employment. And this is going to impact your company because you're being held against a pretty strong standard of you should be offering ideally up to 85% full-time employment roles for your skill bridgers that are entering your skill bridge program.
Absolutely. So we're talking about optimizing, but we're also mitigating risk here by making sure that if they don't get the opportunity at your company, that they're trained and able to go to any company or a competitor and able to get that job, which is good for everyone. So that's what we're doing with this course. We're really optimizing the experience for the individual and the company. And we know a lot of companies are big fans of the program because it gives them a lower cost to acquire an employee. And we know that's a big deal because those things cost money even for internal hires. And so to get someone that's funded by DoD into your company that's going to potentially be an employee, that's a huge cost driver, and it helps the company um, do things at a much cheaper rate, which is beneficial to the company, and then it becomes beneficial for the individual veteran as well, as long as they're aligned. What we see in the space, though, more often than not, is they treat the onboarding for Skillbridge just like the onboarding for the company, and it most likely is non-veteran specific. So this is just a general onboarding to teach you about the company, to get you ready for employment. And what we find is that we're missing the mark a little bit when it comes to going to this veteran specific population within Skillbridge and not giving them veteran specific guidance and training, because they are coming from a very unique environment.
Exactly. So let me show you how we would love to then deploy this within your company because we know that you want to hire on military talent. We know you love military talent. Again, lots of good skills, grit, education, but there are gaps, right? So we can go a long way to filling those gaps, making the experience better for them, better for your organization. Here's how we would recommend to deploy it. So Typically, I'm not saying this happens in every organization, but typically after the service member has applied for the program, the Skillbridge program, the offer is extended back to that service member. And then the offer is typically signed, right? And then what we're recommending after that is they actually you provide us their name information so that they can and then enroll them into our pre-veteran Skillbridge optimizer course, which will take them through these 3 modules that will fill these gaps significantly. What that gives them is context for as they go into your company and go into your typical onboarding process, they'll be able to understand that and be able to uptake that information more quickly. Also, be more confident as they go into it and know a lot how their mindset is going to impact their success rates in SkillBridge, and also if they should they get that full-time employment opportunity with your company.
Absolutely, and these models are born out of a course we've been doing for over 2 years. That these modules were really built from that course as a result of the data we've gotten from the course and running over 100 veterans through it over 2 years. We know what is most impactful to them. We know their mindset, their decision making, and the things they're struggling with. So we can do that veteran specific training before they even start a skill bridge, which we know is going to be super valuable to organizations out there that are running these skill bridge programs. And we know this program is also in its infancy, right? That the skill bridge program itself has been around since 2011, which may sound like a well established program, but we know for a fact that they're still figuring out how to run this program and how to evaluate its efficacy. It was born out of a little bit of high unemployment back in 2010, and it was built to address that specific need for the military. But we've seen the program take off since then and become very, very popular. So it's a fantastic program. We find that, without it being optimized, though, there can be some struggles within that we think we can make it better.
So if you're interested in understanding more about this program, there's a couple things you can do right now. First, we recommend that you attend our next event. So I'm going to show you the Eventbrite here. It's called How to Optimize Your SkillBridge Program. And you can see here is going to be held September 5th. We will have this URL in the comments below, so be sure to look at that. If you're on LinkedIn, here's another one where you can see it's a LinkedIn event, or promoted on LinkedIn rather. If you're a LinkedIn person, you can kind of look on this. Make sure that you RSVP for this event as well.
That's right. And these are going to go to the same event. We're hosting one event. It's just there's a way to link to it from LinkedIn and also Eventbrite. So we definitely hope you'll join us if you currently have a SkillBridge program and you're looking to make it a little better or maybe expand your reach and the awareness of your program and help you stand out from the rest of the 6,000 organizations that are on SkillBridge right now. So we think there's a lot to offer here. We'd love for you to ask some questions as well. Bring your questions to the event. And we'd like to hear from the employers and see what thoughts they have.
And as one other final thing here, you could go to our PreVeteran website. You can see this is under our corporate programs. This is where you could see the SkillBridge Optimizer course here. And you could see, click on this button to schedule a call. That'll schedule a call automatically with myself and Aaron. We would like to thank you again for taking the time. But again, we're so excited to be bringing up this new announcement of going into corporate training. We want to help SkillBridge. We want to help the individual. We want to help the company. We want to make the system. We think we could do it better together. Ask us questions. Go to our event. And do you have anything else to finish out with, Aaron?
That's it. Let's serve veterans and help them help us.